Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Another episode of Push to Podium, I suppose. Alright, so yesterday I had another stream where I mentioned a lot of stuff about the change layout and like how his music and stuff. Since then I added a whole bunch of songs to the sound to the playlist, so there's a bit more variety than just a Hat in Time. Through some Donkey Kong 64, Banjo Kazooie, ukulele, and a couple others in there as well. Just some stuff that I personally like, and it's really good music. Just it's a mix of kind of like battle themes and background music. All of it's instrumental though. Hopefully you guys appreciate that as well. And once again, sorry everyone on the VOD and YouTube for not being able to hear that. It just don't want to get copyright striked. Yes. Also, last stream, we actually reached our goal for the subs that I had kind of just set. Thank you to everyone who has subbed, and especially so to Get Mabelli and Zahiko for their donations of 5 gift subs each. So I'm in the real early processes of commissioning another batch of emotes for you guys. So I'll get that done, well, whenever. Emotes can take a little while, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I get some updates there. So those are kind of the big things, but the new goal I do have down there is my follower goal. I know I mentioned it a while ago, but didn't have an actual visual for it. But there's actually a friend of mine that was Twitch streaming long before I did, and he's kind of streamed on and off over the years, and he's got about 390 followers. So I wanted to set a new goal of reaching 400, which is probably enough to pass him up by the time that we get that many. So that's going to be the new goal for now. As far as the episode today, nothing special. We're rank 5 right now. Kind of bounced around between wins and losses yesterday. Maybe complete one of the weekly missions. That'd be cool. But we'll just kind of jump right in. Hopefully the ladder's a bit faster than yesterday too. I know I had to cut it off at like 6 matches or something because the queues were getting over 12 minutes. It was pretty bad. Well, we'll see. Also, if the music ever gets too loud at any point, just let me know. I can turn it down for sure. I'm trying to monitor it just to make sure it doesn't. It's just to make sure it's not louder than my voice or anything. Yeah, the original soundtracks for some of the games I added are they're actually not on Spotify. And since that's what I'm using for my music, I couldn't add the originals. But there's some cool orchestra pieces that it's basically the same, or like minor remixes and stuff. So I just threw those in there because they're still good. Grant Kirkhope's an awesome conductor, artist. I love his pieces. I might be a little biased just because I grew up with Banjo Kazooie. I actually joined band back in high school. Or actually, no, I joined back in like 6th grade. Played almost through high school in percussion. And one of my favorite instruments was the marimba. You know, it's kind of tied, marimba, xylophone. Both of them are instruments that Grant Kirkhope loves to use in his songs, so you might hear a lot of that. Alright, but we got our first match here against Clash Negi. I really hate the trio of Naga, Moala, and Tyrannak. It's basically like pick your ban bait. I'm pretty much forced into banning Naga just because my team's so fast. I don't have a lot of great answers to Moala, but at least on this team, there's no size munch. It looks like there's still Platamus to worry about. Latimus Moala is kind of a pain. But that's more of a defensive pain than something that can one-shot and outspeed me, so I'd much rather have that. I'm not sure what trait the Volgon is either. My guess would be short circuit, but it could be superconductor. We got stuff like Hellfire synergy. We also probably don't want to see the... They probably don't want to block their own tireless with Gorong. With short circuit. They can even activate it on their own with Ampere outbursts. That could be something they try. I kind of still want to pick 2-wire just because... Just because I can prevent the Moala that way. We might see Tyrannak, but Tyrannak isn't real threatening into this board, and I can just double into the cache anyways, which is what I'd want to do. See Turok, okay. That doesn't really matter. I don't, unless he's got Mom's Lunch on something, he could do like a Mom's Lunch into a burn, into a turbine, but neither of these two are common Mom's Lunch holders. I'm not sure if I want to ban Tyrannak or Platimus here, though. Platimus would make Moala much less effective, which I'm kind of tempted to do. Yeah, but Tyrannack's still there, and I was a bit worried that my little snake guy would get banned out. Or without Orphill, I don't have a great way to deal with Tyrannak. He's banning out my melees, so Gorong's a bit more free. It's a bit strange considering I'm leading with 2 Digis, but I guess he's just going to try and burst him down early, which is fair. I'll have to watch to try and conserve at least one of them. Turok's going to cause me an issue. Turok actually causes me more issues than I acknowledge. Inky gets walled pretty bad by Tyrannak, but I wanted to have a little something extra to deal with Turok in case things go bad. Because Inky, as long as Spec Master is up, can deal pretty well. Turok like 60%. Like, the immediate threat here is a Drakash. But I can't just let the Turok roam free either. For reasons I just said. Well, it swapped, so... Synergy turn 1's nothing I have to be afraid of. We still don't even know if it's Superconduct or not. I don't know if this kills. I'm faster though, so I could turbine if needed. Or I can ignore it because it dies soon. There's no way it's bait Volgon, right? It's gotta be ad shot. Hey Pars, thanks for this welcome to the stream. You sticking around or you're just coming to say hi? It's not superconduct, so that's very good information. Stick around for a bit. Cool, cool. Music at a good volume. That's one thing I can hear the music and it sounds okay, but I can't hear myself. So. Plus, you get stuff like a flute in the instruments, and you're like, is this too loud? Yeah. So he either has to send in. Sounds good. Awesome. He either has to send in Gorong or Tyrannak, which he doesn't want to do either. It's a little too likely that this thing has bait, and so I don't want a Faraday cage for toxic ticks when it doesn't get the damage from it. It is unfortunately faster than my Chromion though, so I don't get the binary flood off. That was a pretty big risk I took. Definitely it was a risk. Bulky Chromion? Yeah, it is a bulky Chromion. But I didn't expect the Turok to have more than... I didn't really expect to have a whole lot of speed investment. Maybe just speed creep. And my Chromion's only got 180 speed though. Base Turok's 162. So it's not even 100 TVs. It would have been nice to kind of save Chromion to deal with the Gorong or Tyrannak later. Hello, X, welcome. I'm doing pretty well. This match is going a bit rough, but that's okay. Nothing we can't come back from, probably. It is Intimidator. A helicopter kick, nut bar. I don't know if he's gonna swap back to Turok or not. Not immediately. Like I'm gonna need some damage on this Gorong. I'm surprised the Gorong isn't the one with nut bar. It's just this team was the Moala, Tyrannak, Naga teams are just so bad. He feels so bad to play against. They're so difficult to deal with. We had a rough night too, 0-4 earlier. Super unfortunate. He stayed in. Too Slick, hello, welcome. I'm not getting inductor heals either, which sucks. Meteor Swarm. Yeah, that's GG. Oh, he doesn't get Intimidator actually, so maybe. If DV kills Tyrannak, I think I can win. Okay. Did he just get tireless from resting? Are you serious? Seriously? Oh, I hate this game. That bug needs to get fixed. That is so dumb. He literally rested and got +2 attack. It's the same. Okay. Well, now it needs to not be first aid kit. Before, my plan was just to double in on the Turok. There it is, okay. Well, it was to double in on the Turok and kill it, and then live whatever Gorong did. And I would be fine. If it wasn't first aid kit, I still would have won. It was first aid kit. Yeah, so you ask, oh, man, it helicopter kicked. I mean, I still could have won if I just didn't click. I could have, oh. Yeah, this match sucked. Yeah, at some point they reworked how OX works. They made it so that OX lasts until the beginning of the turn. So let's say you're seized and you have adrenaline shot, and you OX, or you use hasty lunge or something. But the seized prevents the adrenaline shot from proccing. But at the start of the next turn, you're still OX'd, you're no longer seized, and your adrenaline shot procs, even though it's basically like the turn order. Status effects go away, and then at the start of the next turn, your OX goes away. I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. They just changed the order of OX around, and so stuff like seized, adrenaline shot, and then apparently a Gorong with tireless, and that it extends to Mashuk as well. But it just feels so bad to lose a match because of a bug. And it has to be a bug, because there's no reason for that to ever happen. The same thing with the adrenaline shot. Like, you're supposed to not be OX at the start of the turn. Seems like a spaghetti code side effect. Certainly could be. I'll probably just go back and clip this later and then send it in the bug reports. I actually haven't seen a report on it, but it sucks because it's definitely going to be too late for them to deal with in 1.5. Feels so bad. I should have just doubled the Turok and hoped he didn't use hook kick on Inky. I don't see why he wouldn't use hook kick on Inky. He used helicopter. He used double spread moves for some reason when I would have 100% died on Grumper. And then it's just gambling on first aid kit too. That'll be something where it's really nice to have open info. At least revealing gears on entry that we're getting next patch. I feel like most teams nowadays, they're either one, they're not non-synergy reliant, and it's just throwing like the top 8 Tems on a team together for type coverage and just outstatting your opponent, or there are just a whole bunch of cheese leads, and you just hope that your opponent isn't prepared for them. Will Crema stream the championship? I'm sure they'll stream the world championship. I don't think they're gonna stream anything until then, though. They kind of just leave that up to the other content creators. Unfortunately, like the Pacific and the EMEA tournaments are like way out of my availability, so I can't ever catch them. But I will, as usual, record my matches for the American Regional Championship, and I'll post those on YouTube afterwards. Ugh. Oh, come on, 2 of these in a row. I don't even know why you would bother playing a team like this right now, because both Naga and Moala are getting reworked next patch, or at least their common traits are. Hello, P-Bombs, welcome. Having a pretty rough start to the day so far. Lose a match due to a bug after a dumb team, and then face another dumb team just afterwards. I think this is my only possible lead. The bug. Did you catch the bug? It's a really weird one. Yeah, I mean, I can ban out the Platymus, which is nice, but... Oh no, I was in this situation yesterday. I needed to ban out the Turok, not the Platymus. The Platymus isn't a good matchup, but everything else is worse. Let's pick something. I don't think I win this. He just... It's energy drink size munch. He just heats up turn 1. And he gets chip on Chromion. And then turn 2, he just wrecks. Yeah, it's once again, it's a triple toxic core too, which are everywhere. I really should just bring multi-wind. I mean, Chromion's actually pretty solid against the toxic cores. Microwaves is pretty nice, but it's so slow that it really gets outsped. Orphle doesn't do anything for me this game. I hope the Moala attacks something, wakes me up, and I can do damage. Yeah. See, he knows the. I think he watches my streams actually, because he knows that his Moala is faster or slower than my Broccolum, and he also knows that I'm a slow Chromion. I should have just resin trapped. Chromeon's bulky, but it can't live a double in like this. Maybe. Live, 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 live! Oh, it lives on 3 health! That's... Okay. Wow. Bulky Chromeon. There we go. He knows it's bulky Chromeon, too. I faced him yesterday. I think we ran into him twice. I beat him the first time. Second time I was less successful. Okay. Great damage on the Mashuk. Grumper gets Dust Vortex off hold. Yeah, this should pretty much be over. I'm gonna Sludge Gift just in case he swaps that slot for Turok. Because one Dust Vortex doesn't kill Grunder anyways. Oh right, it's the weird Nutbar Grunder too. Formation, trying to get like Water Jet off hold, I'm not sure. Like, the problem with these teams is if you have any counter to their leads, or you're able to break through in any other way, they just fall apart. They completely fall apart. I might actually be healing the Grunder here, maybe it's not a good idea. Should have just Quartz Dirted. Oh well, it's fine. I have such a big lead. He's got nothing. Yeah. GG. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to move up from that, but could at least gain back some of what we just lost. I don't even know. Maybe we're gaining a net positive for going even. I really don't know. Because supposedly the most you can lose is fighting against somebody that's the same TMR as you. So when I lost that first match today, I'm not sure what rank Clash Nagy was. I know he was floating around Diamond for a while, but he's probably in low Legend. Yeah. So even though he's low Legend and I'm high Legend, I only lost as much as if I faced somebody else in rank 5. Just kind of depends on how much I gain for a win. Which I have no idea how much. It'd be really funny if he goes... Oh yeah, he's actually ranked 20. Maybe he plays a ton of games and they all go pretty quick. Because they're pretty much determined on lead. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to put just a little bit more damage on his Moala to be able to kill my Chromeon. Or even worse, if that's actually a max attack, Size Munch and Moala, and it just doesn't do enough. I doubt that's the case though. Moala actually has really high attack. It never gets to utilize it fully because it's more of a support. I think that after the changes, it could be really cool. We might actually change it to Hypnotists. They're going to give some compensation buffs to Moala, because right now it's kind of held back just due to its super strong trait. It'd be cool to see Haka sets used. I mean, honestly, I could throw Moala on this team and Haka would be nice. Problem is that its type wouldn't be. I'm already pretty digi and electric weak. Like, Moala's defensive type chart's awful, but it does have perfect coverage, so it's kind of cool. Even if you don't run Hypnotist, you got stuff like Haito. You got Black Hole. Transient Echo's an awesome move. And Nito's strong melee option that also gives your other attack Tems a boost by lowering the opponent's defense. You really want to turn 1 sleep, you still have Jinx Whisper as an option. Oh, I don't remember when I did it, but I did swap my Arachnite onto the team for the Cozy Net. This is my effectively perfect Luma Arachnite. I gotta get a whole bunch more attack TVs to actually use it on Showdown, though. I don't have any immediate plans to use Arachnite, though. It's been kind of in a rough spot for a while. I was mentioning in a thread on the main Discord how it could get overclock, and that would be awesome. But others kind of disagreed. Weird, because Moala runs the damage support with sleep and buff cleanse rather than an offensive Tem. Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of the options it has. It doesn't have stuff like Oshi to be a real, or Matter Teleport to be a nuker on either the mental or the melee side. It just doesn't have the high damage moves to fully utilize its offenses. Not to say the moves it has are bad, it's just that there's a different purpose for them. Having a Black Hole user on a team is so valuable because it's a good offensive move normally, and being able to cleanse whatever you want, namely stat buffs against stall teams, is super valuable. Hello, Workman, welcome. Build him as pure offense, be deleted because of his typing. Really curious what they're going to do with him. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a bit more speed. I think it's got like 60 base speed right now, which I believe reaches 262. It's literally the same speed as Volphy. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of Tems around 60. Banjo-Tooie, yeah. I was saying earlier, the original soundtrack for the Banjo games is not on Spotify, sadly, but there's some remixes that are pretty similar, and some orchestra pieces, so I just threw those on. I love Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie. I have the GBA game, Grunty's Revenge. That was even a blast. Nuts and Bolts was actually an incredible game. It wasn't Banjo. Like, it just had Banjo characters. That's old at this point, though. You had the GBA game too? Yeah. I got it way later than the other two. As a kid, I was so happy to see that I could play more Banjo that I hadn't ever seen before. You were disillusioned by Nuts and Bolts, yeah. Glad that a lot of the Rare employees came back around with Platonic Games to make Yooka-Laylee. It wasn't the same, but it gave off the same feel as the Banjo games as a spiritual successor, so I'd say they did its job, and that game was a lot of fun to play too. Hello, Kana. Welcome. Thank you for the luck. Yeah, it'd be nice to add Hidati to the collection. Typh is really cool. Actually saw a pretty cheap Bark Shield on the auction house earlier. I was really surprised considering both Thames and Sci Park have it as an egg move. I thought it was going to go way up in price. I snagged it. Might resell it for for quite a bit higher. We'll see. Yeah. This never seems like a good time to. The best time to queue seems to be during EU times. I don't know if it's just that there's a lot of people online preparing for the EMEA, or if there's just a larger player base over there that's less burnt out or something. I'm not sure. But it always feels like by the time I get on around supper time for US, it's it's always a bit slower. I gotta think what I'm gonna hunt next week too, because I'm kind of caught up on a lot of the Lumas I wanted to get, but it's not Luma Sci Park next week, and it's like I have some feathers. I could invest in a radar. Maybe I'll do another Pup Voice radar. I know Lowaddle's still a low percent I really want. I could do Inky as well, but personally I'd rather just buy a perfect Luma Inky just because the ETCs are absurd. Started the Scara radar last week. Like to get Scara or to farm for Anatan or okay, yeah, it's probably just to go for Anna here because it's like a top tier LC tem now, isn't it? Yeah. I wish you the best of luck. I recently purchased a perfect Luma Anatan thanks to a few connections and some kind souls. So I have that. I just got to soul bind it next time I actually use it on a team. I gotta think here. Hazrat's a pretty simple ban. Doesn't force me into Turok when there's all these counters to it, which is kind of nice. I thought of a way to nerf Moala. Just have Hypnotists work like 0 to hero in Pokemon where you have to swap them out first before it will proc. If that's too weak, give it extra 2 turns of sleep. I I think it'll be fine. I think it just procking after 1 turn and being on the field is cool. You can swap it into a resist and then it'll proc on the 2nd turn, which is still very valuable. Sometimes more valuable on swap in, actually. Whoever gets banned said. Team I'm up against is indeed spooky. Yeah, I have a perfect Scara too. Problem is that I didn't pick up the egg moves because I didn't need them before. Remember Luma Arachnite last week? Thunderstrike, price destroyed your dreams. Oh no, yeah. On the bright side, I think some of the other ones are lower now. I checked Soul Shout yesterday, and it was going for around 100k, which is super nice. It used to be one of the like top 3 most expensive. It was like Wastewater, Batter Teleport, and then Soul Shout. But nowadays, it's not nearly as bad. Okay. Shellank gives Sambi a lot of space to work with, which is unfortunate, but it is a really nice Chromion lead, so I can work around it. This new implementation is cool, but allows counterplay. Yeah, exactly. The only thing that's sad is that it takes a lot of viability away from Towley. Towley's not going to be able to utilize it nearly as well. I don't have enough time to think. I'm going to ban the Baboa because I still have Grumper around to deal with the opposing Inky. Towley will use it just within LC, I know, yeah. It had a cool niche as like a secondary Moala before. It was actually used on some main teams. I used it before. I don't know, I think maybe eventually they'll get around to giving Towley some changes. I'm sure it's not a priority, and it's probably a good thing it's not, though. The Brocklem's really good into everything other than Sandby. Hold on, what? Yeah, seriously. I kill Sandby and then Brocklem just destroys the game. Even Saipat's really good here. I think I just sack Grumper here. I get Microwave Synergy for a bit more damage, which is nice. Towley wants Soul Shout so bad, and Soul Shout Barnshy sounds funny. If they do that, they have to give Telekinetic Shrapnel as well, so that Owlhe can have it. About to make this man eat their veggies. Squishy, max speed Shoutland, good to know. Actually, no, it's not max speed because I outsped it. Hello, Maliro, welcome. Yeah, I mean, T-Strap Owlhe would be cool. I don't know how much it would be used. Hello, Senpai, as well. Alright, I want. They say they're gonna give Owlhe something. I just don't know what it's gonna be. Not sure what it could be that's balanced. Solid damage on Osakai, Reactive Vial, still in T-Strike range. Could get a hook off, not dangerous enough. I should say not dangerous enough alone. Cyclab Owlhe win. I think there needs to be a 3-hold or a 2-hold nuke for us to really see special Owlhe used. I could get screwed by speed tiers here, which would be unfortunate. If my Inky's faster than the Osakai with hook, what's Chromion's? Okay, it's actually a pretty speedy Osakai. It would have been nice to binary flip, but I just didn't know how fast it was going to be, and I didn't want to risk it at all. Soil Steam, nice. Alright, here we go. The last two Tems that are good against... or that Brocklum and Scypad are good against, so I just swap. I probably should have swapped the opposite order. Scypad should have been in the left slot, and Brocklum in the right, to eat the wind move and get evasion. But that's okay. Maybe he'll click like Rockfall or something. Not Amphibian though. Cyclops, the fun move, can either be used as a support or a nuke. I mean, it's cool that they added the +2 special attack when you use it on an ally, but I really, you know, it was better when they kept its damage lower for that purpose. Like nowadays, it's not something you really wanna. You wanna waste. Or you don't want to waste the extra health by hitting something you're buffing. Aww. Saipat was, or the Oshiara was faster, that's sad. I didn't know if Water Blade would kill or not. I know it was +2, but I was kind of hoping it wouldn't. Well, now I gotta kind of just hope that microwaves plus T-Strike kills. Should be close. Depends on how much SpDef invest this Turok has. I don't know if I had any other plays. I really needed to swap the order. I normally when I double swap, I don't put too much thought into it. But had I put Brocklum in the other slot, I would have had evasion that turn and not had to worry about getting hit by the Sandbee. Would have been huge. That is not enough. GG's, I lose. Ah, dang it. Oh my goodness. That must have been like perfect. There's that one should not have killed. Oh wow. GG. Yeah, because Harmful Microwaves has less damage and it doesn't get the Synertyper boost. So, I don't know. That was really close. I thought I was toast, but GG's. I thought I completely had that game, and then I almost threw, and then it gets super close, and I barely come through. That might be the closest game we have all day. Literally a matter of probably like 5 health or less. Or like 1 more SpDef invest. It would be kind of more interesting if I had like the boss themes during the actual battles, and then had the chill themes like when I'm hunting for Lumas. I'm the type of person that puts all my music in one playlist though. I'm not sure how often I want to like cut between songs either. just let him play. I don't know. But it's also like really anticlimactic to just be hunting or like walking back and forth during a boss theme. Also, out of the whole like Banjo-Tooie soundtrack, this song used to be one of my favorites, or I should say, it got stuck in my head the most. That may have partially been because to get the jiggy for this one, it was so awful. It took me so many tries. The game basically puts you in a huge maze with not only just different rooms, but there's different elevations as well. Which is it really good to make mazes more difficult because you can't just follow follow the wall the whole time. But as like a 6-year-old, it was so tough because there was also a time limit. You had to go and defeat things that were moving around, and you had to remember every single room. It was crazy, but it was fun. Dynamite Maze, yeah, that's what the song is from. The ENT sticks. The canary, yeah, the canary was so weird. A lot of characters in the game are super goofy. That was part of its charm, though. They had a second one that was similar a couple worlds later. I actually really like the Grunty Industries soundtrack too, but there wasn't even a remix of that I couldn't find. Or maybe there wasn't, I glossed over it. This arcade player guy has a whole bunch of the songs. No, he does have it. A couple people do. I'll add that later. I like that one. Meant the canary was a tunnel. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Cloud Cuckoo Land, yeah, that's another one too. Canary comes back. I got the thing on shuffle, but it's still just playing through all the songs here. Yeah, Rusty Bucket Bay is probably second best song from the first game. Click Clack Wood takes the cake for me. Another thing, like Banjo-Kazooie is one of the games where the sequel is actually just as good, if not better. Because one of the things that the first game lacked was like meaningful boss fights. They had a couple of them, and I mean there was the final boss fight, but like a couple of them within each of the sections, the worlds, and they were just kind of whatever. But the second game had really awesome ones, and it still kept everything that the first game did good. Remix went weak on the boat noise volume though. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's probably better that way so that you guys just don't get your ears destroyed. Sequel's so good, but second final boss is cool. Second final boss. Oh, the seconds. Okay, yeah. I'm like, it was. I mean, there was multiple phases, but there was only one final boss, unless it was a secret one I don't know about, which doesn't seem right because I've played the game over like 10 times. I've always thought if I was ever going to get into speedrunning for a game, it would be one of the Banjo-Kazooie ones. Because like, if you're going to play a game over and over, it should be one that you love, and also one that has good music, because you're going to have to play it forever. I mean, I gave the Temtem speedrun a try too. I gave it a good solid attempt back when it hadn't been beaten yet. Because when the challenge modes first came out, everyone was playing the random lock and the Nuzlocke, and there weren't a whole lot of people bothering with the speedrun. But then Krema came out with some statistics of like who was playing which one, or how many people had beaten it. I think they did, and they saw that nobody did the speedruns. So me and a group of other people were all trying to beat it, but I did not succeed. I was trying too hard to make a balanced team rather than just over leveling two Tems. And then since somebody got like the first win, I just kind of gave up afterwards. But all right, we got our next match against Ortigan. A bunch of cheese leads again. Orphil's gone. Trying to think. Like, I know he likes his 2-ire Anatan lead, but there's also Schween and Saipat. He banned my Orphil though, so he probably wants to lead the Saipat. Is preventing me from doing so effectively. I'm gonna ban the Xyzar though. I know every time I don't ban it, because I'm like, oh, I got type advantage against this, it just ruins me. I'm not gonna deal with that this time. Not even gonna try. Plus that gets rid of one of his 2-wire options. If he picks it here, he's either got like a speed Turing to H-slap for a physical Valash, or he's just gonna pick Anatan. I don't know which. But I know I'm picking Broccolum for sure, just because it counters 2-wire really well with Camouflage. I'm trying to think if it's worth applying a second status and then beating him turn 2. The only thing I have to apply a second status is like Toxic Ink or Rotten Goo. We're gonna pick the Chromion though, just because it's tankier, and I don't really want to waste health on anything else. I still don't know what he's even gonna pair this with. I hope this is a common wire 2-wire, common factor 2-wire, and not splitter. I don't want to get surprised again. Volarend, interesting. Must be anaerobic. Banning the Shween, which kind of cancels out Saipat's use. Hopefully he doesn't pick it. I still have Chromion and Inky to deal with it if I need to, though. All Enigma opponents. I faced a Focus guy earlier. But yeah. It's kind of funny. I think Enigma's primarily America region, right? I mean, not that that's like a set rule or anything, but I feel like most of them are around here. If it goes Valash, I definitely go to Turok. Otherwise, I consider going 2-wire. Yeah, okay. Alright, so this Volarend's gonna be a pain in my butt. I do have Inky, but besides Inky, I don't have a whole lot, and I kind of want Inky to deal with Sambi at some point, so... Dunno. Sucks Grumper was banned too. I love Grumper. Its typing would have been so good this match, but that's just a good pick ban by him. Marvel's Chip, always good when it's on my side, always hate it when it's on my opponent's. Wet Band. What TVs am I using on Broccolum? There you go. Like, take a screenshot or something. It's speedy. Enough stamina for a 3-turn rotation. Of Plague, Inner Spirits. Oh, that's right. I was gonna say it's faster, but then I remembered that Volarend's base speed is 184 and my Chromeon's 180 speed. Started leveling HP. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's not like an HP Broccolum is bad. On my MSI team, I have an HP Broccolum. It's very strong. It's just that this team gets less use out of HP. Interesting Valash swap. Okay. Getting holds off for like Major Slash. I don't think another Nox Bomb even kills Chromeon here, so kind of weird. Oh, Toxic Plume. But I'm two special attackers. That's a weird choice. He must have been predicting a swap. Do I need Broccolum for anything this game? Nah, I really don't. Inner Spirit! And Microwaves. Okay, 2-wire. Yeah. That is just fine. Chromeon probably goes down. I might even still kill him with the Inner Spirit, depending on how squishy he is. Ilvalos, hello, welcome. Oh, not through the Scavenger. Yeah, I've been using Toxic Chromeon. It's actually not Pigment Inverter, though, which is uncommon for Toxic Chromeons. I don't know if Psypat lives a turbo attack or not. I wanted to keep Inky healthy to deal with Sandbee, but I think I gotta do this. Swap to Turok to prepare for the Anatan swap in. Oh, you know what? Ninja actually goes first. I did not plan this well. He doesn't double in though. Does he remember he's still neutralized? A Ninja plus a turbo attack definitely would have killed Inky, and that would have been really bad for me. I guess he just wanted to save the 2-wire to bring in for its trait later. Well, this is the most obvious 2-wire bait I've seen in a while. Since I'm faster, I get to swap first, so that my Broccolum will get the neutralized when the 2-wire comes in. Which is cool. Now I'll get the camouflage boost. He's running out of options to swap into, which is good. I think Turok outspeeds Broccolum, which is a little unfortunate because if... Reset into Transient, very interesting. That's fine, I just bring Inky in. He doesn't have a whole lot of counterplay to that. He could Turbine plus Transient. That would throw me off for sure. He saves something. Saves the 2-wire to bring in. His Anatan later. He's faster with the Transient, but I'm not really afraid of that. Even if he used it on Inky, I wouldn't have died because I resist it. Inky has respectable base bulk. It's not good, but it can live a lot of stronger moves. And I mean, with a quarter of its health, it's not going to die to a resist, unlike something like Barnshee. Not gonna play games. Gonna DC beam. He could turbine my Inky and kill it. Which, while I think I'd still be just fine, I don't really want to risk it. I know the 2-wire dies to DC beam. Now I can just wait for the neutralize to wear off and then bring in Turok in a one-shot. Self-care and Nutbar. Pretty common. Self-care is a little bit more difficult to pull off with the Anatan and 2-wire combo because you're actually applying a status to yourself. If I was to say Plague the Anatan, it would proc Self-care and it would get the exhaust, pushing off the neutralized, and then I could use an earth move on it. So if I ever face him again, I should lead like, and I see Anatan being picked, I just pick Broccolame and Turok, so GG's. Still can't break into rank 4. Always like stopping into trade chat sometimes. Never know when there's a good deal or when I can help somebody out with stickers. I finished the sticker quest a long time ago. I think it was like a day or two after it released. So, after the update that had the stickers released. So I have the scooter. It takes a while to trade stickers with people who still have a bunch left, but if somebody's got like 10 or less and I have one that can help them out, sometimes I'll trade if I see them online. Or more like you can stop by Sci Park and pick up pick up the sticker. Rank 4 after banana. Oh, I used up a lot of luck at the start of the week. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a banana this week. It's just kind of a side quest. Plus, if I do, I'm gonna have to pick up a radar sooner than I think. I got feathers to manage though. Do I have extra stickers even after completing? Yeah, you do. I don't really know why. Oh, last guy I traded gave me a roller sticker. That's cool. Initial goal was to actually continue trading until I get all Pookie or Piranha stickers. Because obvious reasons. But it just really wasn't worth it. Like after sticker trading for like 2 or 3 days straight, I was burnt. I did not want to do it any longer. But honestly, it was a fun update. There was a whole bunch of people online. Everyone was crazy, trying to race and stuff. I wonder if there's gonna be like a race, like first completion of the new mythical layer or something. The game didn't. The game didn't update at like 3 in the morning my time, 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't know. Some awful time in the morning. I would probably try for that for fun, but no. I'll just save it for some time when I'm a bit more free that day, and I'll probably just like might as well stream the new route and maybe a layer or two. I know there were some people interested in that. There's no harm in showing what the update has to offer. I was realizing that I'd actually have to put together like an in-game team to just run through all the new tamers that are going to be blocking. Something that covers every single type, but something I also have like perfect TV train level 100. I have more than enough options. I'll just have to think of it and put it together. It's also a bit sad. Normally when I do my in-game stuff, I have like Tental on my team. But like, I'm assuming there's going to be more shrines that you have to interact with types. And you can't really spare. It's got to be double types that cover the entire range. At least it doesn't like eat the Tem. Like imagine you had to actually sacrifice the Tem when you showed it to the podium. Oh, my perfect Luma Arachnite? Poof. No, don't worry, that's not how it works, but it would be awful if it did. Uh. This is usually the point where I'd go and walk over to the other Tem inside park and just do a few encounters, just to be like, oh, maybe my luck's over there or something. But I already have Broccolum. It would feel really bad to get a second Broccolum, and I can potentially get a banana instead. You still wish we had new Tems being added besides the new mythical? I understand why they don't do it. I always like new mons monsters in games, and the creature collectors I play. Part of the reason why I really liked Pokemon Whack. I actually got a few songs from it in here too, but there's like 42 types and like 3,000 new mons or something. All of them are low quality, and it's not a game for the easily offended, but I found it extremely fun, and it was extremely difficult as well. Like there are a lot of different like mon hacks, ROMs and such. I always like the ones that have more a variety. I know there was one I played a long time ago. I think it's called like Ethereal Gates, but it only had like the first town or something. I was so sad. I kept checking in for a little while afterwards. I think they changed their idea to like Sea and Sky, Pokemon Sea and Sky or something, but it was just developing very slowly. They had a whole bunch of really cool designs. For anyone who likes auto battlers like Teamfight Tactics and such, there's a ROM called Pokemon Crown that's super cool. But that one's also pretty early in development. I played through that whole thing. It was a blast, but it's one of those things where it would be amazing to play once they release the whole thing, but until then it almost feels kind of bad. Because you're left just wanting more content. At least Temtem nowadays feels largely complete. So while, yeah, I want more content, I'd love to see it. It doesn't feel lacking either. At this rate, I'm gonna get like a Luma side pat right after I got on my own from a Digilair, and I'm gonna be super sad. I also have a Luma Tatter that's perfect. It's just missing knockback. Oh, that's right. We got word of Dojo Wars might have issues again. It's a sign up week for Dojo Wars. And after the last patch they pushed out, it looks like people can't sign up. And I was trying to figure out like why the ETC market is struggling so bad. Well, it's because Dojo Wars changed. Before, one of the biggest influxes of ETCs into the game was during the weekly Dojo Wars. There would be like, I don't know, 9, 10 ETCs for each club, or like in total, or each dojo that gets added to the pool, which was actually quite a few considering the amount of players that play the game. And that was every week. Now they're once a month, but they're a lot more common because you get one every time you win a match. Problem is that we had it at the start of the month, or the start of the patch, and then haven't since. I really hope they get it working this time though. Supposedly they're going to send in a patch at reset, and it should fix the issue, but if it doesn't, I don't know. I'm hopeful though. Temtem feels complete, but also screams for new updates and content. It's like having the same Pokemon game for more than 4 years. No, I mean, I don't think... It's kind of hard to say. I think at this point, any new content is probably just a bit too late. It's like if I didn't play comp, like new PvE content wouldn't bring me back, but I understand that PvE players definitely need new content. Even if they just added a couple new mons or Tems to this game, I don't know. I just like the comp scene in Temtem. That's why I play it. It's just the best competitive monster battler out there. Content or not, I'm probably going to end up playing it. The only thing that would make me quit is if the competitive scene just gets awful. New PvE stuff's required for the game to thrive. I think the game is beyond its era of thriving. It had like a chance and a half, and unfortunately, it's a hard game to retain players in. It's kind of a specific niche. Temtem made what it'll make. It's on to other things for Crema mainly. Yeah, they had some announcement with the Unity thing. It sounded like they were pretty deep into development for a new game. Kind of interested. I almost hope it's something Temtem related. I know somebody just threw an idea out there in my club chat of like maybe it'll be a Temtem card game. Like that'd be cool. I would play that. If it's something completely different like some of their other games, I'm not sure if I'd really be interested, but we'll see. I feel like Crema had a lot of success with Temtem. It would feel kind of bad to almost drop it at this point. But I don't know. I mean, is Temtem tier art in a different world you're on board? The genre would have to be interesting to me too. I'm not a... Gameplay can get really repetitive in games. And if it's not a new concept, chances are it's not better than another game that's already out there. Oh, I mean, we basically have no information on it, so it's just really pointless to speculate. You just don't want an unlikable pro tag design. Story doesn't matter too much. It's always kind of a nice bonus. And if you have a game that has an incredible story, it can stand alone just for that. Like if you get like Kisuwa story levels of story, um, I think that would be pretty solid. You didn't like Immortal Redneck's main character design? I know nothing about that game. Like, I know that was one of Krema's other main games, but I didn't even look at a Steam page for it. I know they had like the little splash art with the blues. That was kind of a reference to it. Like, what's the game even about? Isn't it just kind of like a... I don't even know. I literally... Oh, got it. Looked fun. The main character's dialogue was something. Yeah, I mean, there can definitely be things like that that are off-putting in games. At that point, you just appreciate that Steam has a two-hour return policy. But we finally got a match. Raids, pyramid dungeons. I see. Okay. Like a gun combat system, sword, shield, medieval. Hello, Kip. Welcome. Guns. See, that's... You can't really make guns all that interesting. It's just not an interesting combat type. As somebody who played Borderlands, I don't feel like any other game can even compare to the variety of gun combat in that game. I know B Flattened is like a huge Borderlands nerd, which is pretty cool. Like I enjoyed the games, but I didn't get all that into it. It was just a great game to play with friends. But they had stuff like fully automatic sniper rifles. Like that's interesting. They had elements with different guns and stuff. Well, like other than that, what are you gonna have? Like a bigger magazine, faster reloads. That's the kind of stuff that Call of Duty does. You like guns when it's mechanics and stuff like Portal. See that? Yeah, that's good design. That's really interesting. Like it's not even really like combat that way. That's just a way to implement. Ah, shoot, the Turok. I needed to scare that off. That's just a way to implement a mechanic. Bought Titanfall 2 because it was on sale, and apparently that's a great gun game. He's excited. I've heard good things about it as well. I just don't really trust other people's judgments on games. Yuck. It was $2. That's a great deal then. Titanfall 2 is very fun. I don't doubt that. I'm a little picky with the games that I play. But I have heard that name brought up quite a bit. So it must be pretty solid. Don't you play Valorant though? Like Valorant is it's cool that they have abilities and stuff, kind of like Overwatch. But I feel like most of that game is determined by reaction time. It's just very similar to CS:GO. Not a personal fan. Turok's super good here. Either Chromion or Phil's going to be great here, but just the bulk and digi offensive typing is going to be better, I think. Valorant's pretty. Oh, for sure. The design team was phenomenal. Like Riot's best department, don't you know? Seen some of those League of Legends cinematics. Arcane, hello? I think that's a different department, but... Solid competitive game? Yeah, I know, it's just not my type of thing. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get out of this lead. Where's this music from? Hat in Time. You can kind of see the little album cover in the bottom left corner, but I guess it's pretty small. I threw in some other songs though as well. Lots of Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64 and stuff. Oh, the truck swap Ukama? Of course not. Now you see it? Okay. Guilty Gear songs get all the viewers' trust. I mean, I don't doubt stuff like that, but personally I'm just gonna play songs from games that I like and are familiar with. And I hope y'all enjoy it too. Seems like the general consensus so far has been I've got decent music choice. Okay. I really don't need Grumper. I was kind of just sacking it on lead. But I don't know how much stamina I want to waste on 2-Ire either. Like, I could very reasonably just Dust Vortex to a Tort Knight slot. But he swaps into his own Grumper. Dang it! Why? I could Dust Vortex that slot so easily! So how do you get my prediction perfect? That is I think that's a squishy Mashuk. Now what does the Grumper do, though? And the fact that this Mashuk is faster than mine sucks. Really need 2-Ire for anything either. Yeah, that's why I had to Sludge Gifts. I would have died to the uppercut. Yeah, this one was just Really unfortunate. That swap that he predicted with the Tort Knight, I really could have just clicked Dust Vortex. I should have, I guess. I would have basically killed Grumper. I think at this point I got to take a huge risk, predict the Grumper to swap into Kama. And I need to swap in Inky here and get Harmful Synergy. I think that is the only way I win, because my Turok also gets outsped by the Mashuk, and it gets a hit off. It's just, this was a really rough position after that. Complete wasted turn and perfect pivot by him. Please be Ukama. Okay, whatever. This is... could be better. I don't know why he swapped... Does he not realize that Grumper and Tortonate are weak to Earth? I don't know why he's swapping them in to eat Earth hits. Cage, I should have just expected that. But then Bright Beam would have worked. Oh. Yeah, GG. This team is weird. And this player plays extremely strange. I do not understand at all. I don't know why you're swapping your Earth Weeks to eat the Earth hits. I don't know why you run speed on your parry or Mashuk. I don't know why you have... Yeah, it's not even like a physical team to run Mashuk. It's just very strange. Like, after I've gained info that game, I think I would play completely different, and I could win easy. It's so much weird stuff in that team. He loves his Cernif. I think I banned it. Like, my team's bad against natures. It's like, well, does that team just cripple against anything other than Cernif? Just tonic Cernif. I mean, that's actually kind of cool tech. I just don't know why he played like that. It's not even like he was making good predictions. It just seems strange. You gotta go. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you for the Luma luck. Also, knowing if a Mashuk has helicopter kick or not is also really important. That one did not seem to have it. Because it P-jabbed my Grumper twice into an uppercut. So unless it doesn't have turbo, even though it's a faster Mashuk. Gotta have turbo though. There's no other reason you would have speed like that. It's not even like it's just speed creeping a little either. That's like at least 200 TVs in speed. Which if you're running a tireless Mashuk, it makes enough sense. You want to outspeed stuff. Like if you have 265 speed on your Mashuk and you get a synergy turbo off, you'll outspeed Ukama's and other base 100s using priority, which is actually really valuable. So I can understand reaching 265 on a tireless Mashuk, but that was a speed invested parrier one. That wasn't outspeeding any breakpoints that I could make out. Unless it was like a base speed Turok and he calced his Mashuk to be faster than its turbine. And he just happened to be one speed faster than me. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. I'm doing well. I just had a really rough match, but overall, doing really well. You been up to anything fun? Don't die. That's okay. I'm just sending my Tems to do that instead. They almost killed a character in this game, and a lot of people were really happy, and then sad, because they found out later in the story that he did not. Animal question mark abuse? It probably is. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff like PETA, just the animal organizations, kind of hate the creature collector, monster battler stuff. Which is like understandable. You don't want to pit like two dogs in a ring saying like, "Oh, go Momo," or use Jaw Strike or something, because that would just be awful. Should have killed them. But it made things really interesting. That's why Kisiwa was peak story. One character in this game talking about using them to kill people, and we saw no one die. Yeah, that's actually a good point. There was a whole war going on, and we didn't see anyone die. You work today, Saturday, you're going to the music fest here in town? Oh, that's cool. They got some good bands. I feel like most of the time the ones that they are able to get, I actually don't know any other songs, so I... but yeah, it'll still be fun. Something like that, I'm sure. You won the ticket for free on accident-ish? It's a pretty fun accident. You just like sign up for like a little lottery thing and then just happen to get it. Something. I'm searching. Maybe like made a bet with somebody, like, hey, if you buy this ticket to the lottery and win, you give me the prize. Yeah. I bet. That would be awful, actually. It's just a lose-lose situation for the wrong person. Went to the first local baseball game of the season. They had a booth set up late. So you signed up. You went to the bathroom. Gotcha. So they conveniently had it at the right time for you to conveniently walk past, and then you just happen to write your name down on the sheet, and then you somehow get lucky and win. Only 2 people signed up? Oh, so it's like a 50-50 chance. That's kind of sad, actually. I suppose, like, if it's just a local baseball game and a local... just the concert, I suppose they can just kind of get away with that, because... Oh, both of you signed up? That's... So you would have essentially won either way. A quad nature stall core. This does not look good. And I'm orange side, which is really unfortunate. They always ban Orphill. I wish I had the better lead. Because I want to lead Toxic Chromion with something. He doesn't want to go? Then why did he sign up? That's so boring. You should just force him to go. Just tell him you're going to get ice cream or something and then just head down there. You can pick up ice cream on the way too, so you don't even have to lie. Taking your dad out instead, though? That's still cool. My family around after college is going to be pretty important for me, too. I'm probably just going to still live in the area. Nidrasil, yeah. He's fun to go to concerts with. Okay, I could definitely see that. He's a fun guy. Okay, double toxic, so this lead sucks for me, but at least I get to ban out Tyrannek. Yeah, I would have loved the counter ban here, so that they don't ban Broccolin, but now they do. Okay, they don't. I'm gonna go with Psypat, just so I have a second Toxic player. Because I'm gonna kind of leave 2-Wire in on a lead, and I don't know how much damage it's gonna take. He worked for Tower Records as a team. He knows like all the 80 stuff, especially rock. Oh, that's actually really cool. I did not know that. Perfect, just got rid of neurotoxins. Nothing wants to eat a turbo. I just swaps into Volphy or Grumper though. Yowler? Okay. Works for me. He's just got side spores again though. I need to attack the Nid. That was an oops. I'm getting damage on it with Electric Storm, which is nice, but yeah. Like I could just reset the Owler, save the damage, but I just don't think that's worth it. Swaps the Nidrasil. I should have kept Dust Vortex. No. Often's a little weird considering my like entire team's special. Oh, I guess I got Psypat and 2-Wire. Let's get Sludge Gifts on the Grumper so it's in range to die to Soul Shout. I don't think I died to just the Dust Vortex from the Grumper, but I'm probably die to a double in. But yeah, they're hibernates. Oh, relax. Interesting. He's getting holds off on Winter's Call this way. Okay. Cow is rest on Grumper. Rushing Diabolo, building blocks. I have reset, but all that work I did on the Yowler's now poof, gone. I should have kept. I shouldn't have double swapped, it was pointless. I don't know if he's gonna stay in or swap. He's got 2 Toxics in the back. If he stays in, Winter's calls, I need to get this damage off on him. If he swaps, then I want to swap to Grumper Broccolum always. Went to a lot of concerts. He would close the store and then sit outside and be the first person in line to buy tickets when they went on sale. Tried to either go to the box office in person or buy tickets at a music store. Kick people off the. I guess, yeah, that's perks of. Ah, dang it. Perks of working at a place like that for sure. It's a good counter to this sort of Yowler. Killing it fast usually isn't an option. Your options are usually going to be either ignore it and kill the other slot and then just control the thing to death. Stuff like Hypno Strangles stall in the endgame can do it. If you wipe a Yowler's buffs with reset or something, it's pretty much useless as well. I think normally, if you have the damage, like they swap it in to eat a couple hits, you definitely kill it. Otherwise, you just kind of ignore it. So this one, now that it revealed Clinch, I don't know if it has Savage Suplex. It either doesn't have Savage or it doesn't have Winter's Call. Because it has Toughen, Hibernate, Clinch. Also, your claim to fame for concerts, you fell asleep at a Slash concert. The Guns N' Roses lead guitarist. Oh no! It was that bad? That's rough. Once Nidrasil goes down, he doesn't have a reliable healer anymore. I mean, maybe Kaleidoscope Volphy. Alright. Clinch is his only attacking move. He shouldn't be attacking the Broccolum here because he would give me evasion. Ooh, this is really good. He'll want to swap out his Cycrox now. Please keep the Yowler in. Please keep the Yowler in. You worked early that day and the songs were getting repetitive. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm if you worked early, that'd definitely take a lot out of you. That alone would probably do it. I feel like if you worked a really long day and started... Ah, dang it! He didn't take the risk. Just about any song would sound repetitive. Now he knows I have a reset. You work at 4 a.m.? Oh my goodness. I couldn't do that. Do you just stay up through the night, or do you just get up that early? I've seen both ways. Alright, so 2-wire has reset back up again. Four AM to noon 30. You got to bed around 9 through 12. Oh, that's so rough. Make sure you stay healthy. Maybe you gotta go take a nap instead of watching this. Though I do always appreciate you. I hope you enjoy. 297 versus 258. You drink a lot of water and you're off tomorrow. That's good. I'm sure he's swapping the Yowler here. So I'm just getting hold off on Broccolum. Yeah. Maybe he OXs on a Cycrox? Like, if it's really low stamina, he will. Because yeah, I knew I didn't kill there. The heavy armor helps. Worked to 7:30. Wasn't bad today. That's good to hear. Please die, Nid. You just finished season 3 of Demon Slayer. Yeah, I I could talk about so much, but I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't seen it yet. Season 4, though, is also phenomenal. Demon Slayer never disappoints. Live the clinch or not? Yeah, I do. Demon Slayer spoilers, they slay demons. Oh, you're not wrong. I've seen Psychopass? I have. Psychopass is really good, but it's also kind of a bit sad. It's just kind of like a futuristic society sort of thing. And everything, like the world is just in an awful state. But the show is really good. I actually watch a ton of anime, so yeah, I know a lot of stuff. Steins Gate is one I'd recommend if you haven't seen it. It's my favorite of all time. OX from the Sludge Gift, sad. Let's make him burn through some stamina. You're woefully behind. You haven't seen Steins Gate, Senpai? That's surprising. It's people have a lot of stuff to say about it. The general some people say it has a really slow start, but it gets better as it goes on. I think it's great the whole way through. You sneak in some girly romance. Well, I mean, when it comes to anime, I watch just about everything, so. Seen stuff like Toradora. I want to watch the Glasses one this season. I haven't gotten around to that yet. I know some other good ones too. I'm just also trying to play Temtem, so you fell asleep on the first episode and it's hard for you to get through it. It's one of those shows where it's really has a super in-depth story where there's a whole lot of stuff that happens, but you don't really get to realize the impact of it until the later episodes. But you could, if you go back and watch this thing a second time, you realize that every single decision matters, even some of the pointless stuff in the first episode. So it's really crazy. GG's. Having reset really helps against Yowler there. You do a 6-episode rule, so you give it a try? Good, good. There's only been like 1 or 2 animes I've started to watch and then haven't actually been able to last through it. I pretty much, it's like once I get recommended something, once I watch an episode, I'll watch. But the only one I wasn't able to get through was Soul Eater. Because I watched that one when I was a little bit older, and the whole concept and everything that happens in the first episode is such a joke. I couldn't stand it. The concept behind the show being so bad was rough. Tried to rewatch Sword Art Online and watch the newest stuff. You forgot how cringe it was. Yeah, I mean, getting through the first season and the fairy arc is horrible. But I think once you get beyond that, like, I think Sword Art's really good. But that's fair. I know that it's not for everyone, so. Right now you're watching Tenpudu? I don't know what that one is. I'm not familiar with it. It's funny though, maybe I'll add it to my list and check it out later. Actually got through a lot of my recommended anime lists over time. You got through Gun Gale? And still didn't like it? Ah, that's unfortunate. It's probably just not the show for you then. We'll look up the summary, it's pretty funny. Comedies are always good. Still always wait for more Konosuba though. I feel like that's just peak comedy. Glad they had the little spin-off with Megumin earlier this year though. That was funny. Every single one of these queues is long. I feel like we're just basically waiting for one person to log on and then we just snag them as soon as they queue up. So everyone else is probably getting insta queues, but I'm just here with super long ones. More banana hunting time. You gotta rewatch Platinum End. I didn't really like anything about Platinum End except the ending. The ending was really good. But getting up to there was painful. This team is pretty rough for me. But I'm glad I'm on orange side, so I might be able to not ban Hedgen if he doesn't ban Saipat. Platinum End is just bad future diary, essentially. I do have to ban Hedgen. Sad. Rock's still available, which kind of screws me up a little. But he didn't ban 2-wire. He knows my strategy though, so. So I don't know what I'll be able to pull off here. I'm gonna ban the Turok now. One, because it's the most likely holder of bait, and two, my team's just bad against it. He could have handcuffs on the Volphy, but I should be able to kill the token before then. Or the Volphy, whichever one I choose. If it's Heat or Tolkien, I don't think I'll kill. I'll probably just choose to kill the Tolkien for sure then. Broccolum, man, interesting. I'll pick Grumper first because it hits a lot of stuff outside of Volphy. Orphil's pretty good against everything other than Gialis as well. Well, I guess Gialis and Tolkien, but I'm assuming I can break through that pretty reasonably. Since I have Orphil, I'm gonna go with Turok over Inky. You know, now that I think about it, I know I kind of just settled on Turok for the slot, but it really has low impact in every game it actually is played in. Boosting Whip Tolkien. I'll take it. No marbles proc? Booyah. Maybe I don't even Venom Spread. That way I can just kill the Gialis if it comes in. No. Nah. Buttons! Woo! Like this combo is so punishing for anyone who doesn't ban 2-wire. And yet he kind of had to ban Saipat, otherwise I would have had a really good advantage. Oh, and he swapped the other slot. It was a 50-50, but it's not like he wanted Gialis. Oh, he had camo. Yeah. Super unlucky all around. No way Tolkien eats the Venom Spread. If he sends in Volphy, I do the same thing. If he sends in anything else, I turbo attack Binary Flood. Okay. I'm just not immediately afraid of Gialis. Not with 2 Digis on the board. Plus with 2 Earths in the back. Chromion's trapped. Volphy's dead. Chromion lives. Oshiara comes in. Okay. Oh, sharp stabs on the Chromion is surprising. Maybe he was expecting me to swap into like a Rotten Goose energy. Or maybe it was a slow Gialis. I would have always sharp stabs the 2-wire though, because I think Tsunami kills every time. Rock's better with hold off. Toxic Ink is better when predicting a swap. Crystal Bite hurts, but Gialis doesn't have enough options to do anything else now. Best thing for him to do is swap out Gialis into Goring the 2-wire. Okay. Yeah, that's probably what he does. He's... His move length's faster. It's gonna be a question of can my Orphle from this health live a Water Blade, or if this Oshiara has Unseen Blow. Predicting every single move he's doing. It's all pretty standard moves. He's not like over predicting. It's pretty easy to see the best moves in every situation, at least for me. It's just a question of do they make the optimal choice or not. Shoot, I actually wanted Grumper to die there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Everything's up to it. Does this thing have enough damage to kill Orphle? Like, if it has Sharp Rain, I think that would do it. Like, I know it's a 4 times resist, but Orphle doesn't have good special defense. Mine has very low HP, and this thing's +2. Sharp Rain's also a very strong attack. But if he's got like Blizzard or something, he won't outspeed. Moment of truth. Water Blade, not enough. GG's. Maybe it was a slower one, that's why he went for that. I'm not sure. I think most OCRs should hit like 304, which is enough to outspeed opposing Hedgens. So he has a good breakpoint to hit. See, like 5 and 2, I don't even know if we're positive TMR wise or not. It's just hard to say. I think I'll play one more game and then call it. Queue times are longer, so 8 games is acceptable. Plus, I still gotta eat dinner after this. I was gonna get a pizza. Maybe I should like order one now. Just ate, now you're sleepy. Glad you're able to get some rest. Have a good night as well, Senpai. Oh, looks like one of the folders full of songs actually didn't work. I was like, I played this song at the start, I think. Start of the stream. It shouldn't be repeating. But it looks like there's a section of songs that just did not count. I'll have to look into that after. It's not like it's bad songs. I just would like to have enough so that it doesn't repeat during the stream. Wonder how long this last queue is gonna be. Watch it be like 15 minutes, and I'll regret saying I'll play another. Ding, I got pinged. You know, I've been streaming often enough and having long enough queues where I'm actually like running out of easy topics to talk about. And there'll be a whole bunch of new stuff once the patch drops, but until then, dunno. Shirk shared a 20-minute Q pick on Discord. Yeah, I mean he always queues at like the worst time possible though. It's like the middle of the night for America, the like U.S. America region, and it's early morning or like just starting the workday for most of the EU folks. You get into a match against a player you've never played before. How do I guess what moves each Tem is carrying? Right. So, good question. It's usually determined by two things. One, it's either like a. Well, I should say, each Tem really has a pretty small pool of moves it uses. For this example, I'll use Mashuk because I faced a Mashuk earlier. Mashuk really has like 5 or 6 moves that it can use. It has uppercut, perfect jab, helicopter kick, wastewater, and those are kind of the 4 core offensive moves. Beyond that, it can run turbo, possibly cage, and possibly intimidation. But really, it's going to be the 4 offensive moves or turbo. If I see a team that has 2-wire or Molgu paired with the Mashuk, then I'm more than likely going to guess that its trait is Parrier, and it's a slower, bulkier set with perfect jab. Probably wastewater. I mean, the perfect jab and wastewater you're always going to run on Mashuk. It's just kind of like uppercut or heli kick, and do you run turbo? But the slower parrier ones usually don't run turbo. So if I see a slower team like Molgu, or something like 2-wire, which takes advantage of Mashuk's bulk by giving it nullified, then I'll assume it doesn't have turbo. But if I see there's like triple wind, like Tuvine, Turok, maybe Tolkien, then I would be like, okay, maybe this is a faster Mashuk with Tireless that has turbo. And then stuff like Cage and Intimidation, you just never know. Cage is always a surprise move. It's never a great slot, but it's... yeah. I think the long queue time is just a podium thing. I'm sure that doesn't help, but I don't think it's the whole of it. Talk about how much I would play Brockwork if it had Plague. It would be fun, but it still felt really bad. Its stamina's kind of awful. It would be really a good toxic check, but the fact remains it still has like 3 or 4 other weaknesses. Totally forgot Chubby existed in this game. How? How could you possibly do that? Chubby's adorable. I know. I love Chubby though. Sometimes pre-evolutions are... I forget that they exist when you just play in a pure comp setting. Double nature plus Turok, kind of bad. It's even an... oh yuck! What do I do here? Might be a Brockwork and Bill lead. If I'm running a Hazrat, how much speed did you aim for? That also depends on the team. A lot of bulkier Hazrats that want to live stuff like a Turbine from Turok, usually you'll just hit 232, and that's just fine. Otherwise, if you're running a faster team, you'll probably want to be faster. You can kind of get away with less bulk if you have Embers in the moveset, but you don't normally run Embers now. You'd only do that if you don't have water types to complement Lava Wave. Sasu Doku, hello and welcome. Cage can sometimes screw you up, but more often than not, it loses you the game. Yeah, yep. It's like a double-edged sword. It's a really cool move, but the fact remains that it's just got just as many issues as it does help. And in a best-of-3 setting, like in tournaments, Cage really doesn't help a whole lot. Bulky teams are viable nowadays. Bulky teams are the meta nowadays. They have been for quite a while now, many moods. You knew it would be bad if I left it around. Yeah, bulky offense, just like high HP, and like nowadays it's really common for Tems to run like upwards of 700 TVs in bulk and just have very low damage. Because I've been through this before, but essentially people are, even on faster teams, are making their spreads so they can affect like 3 neutral damage hits or 3 1x hits. Makes sense. You only played around 20 ranked games, gold one. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm playing a speedy team just because it's the only thing that has the potential to disrupt these teams that's not itself. I mean, technically stall teams can punish them too, but stall just doesn't have enough tools to win consistently, in my opinion. He didn't pick his Grumper. That's interesting. Got double melee and Turok. Turok walls itself. I think I just go Inky. Hope it's not max speed Golzy. And then kill the Tyrannek. Before we all lose to Tsubaki in a week. I have if I run this team, which I'm still not sure which team I want to run, but I'm pretty sure I can beat Tsubaki with this team. I got like reset on my 2-wire. I've got such high damage with Orphle, Inky, and Chromion. Even Saipat does a ton, because Schween's Horn boost is really nice. Heavy Armor Tyrannak is new. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't really need Orphle past Tyrannak. He stayed in. That is surprising. I Toxic Ink just in case he swapped, because it didn't matter, which I clicked anyways. I guess he's just gonna double in on the Orphle. It's just kind of like fair. Heli Kick plus Embers probably gets really close. I might live. Nope, goes for the Broccolum. Before I get Camouflage. I guess I didn't look how much Toxic Ink did. I'm kind of just assuming it did 30%, but that could be really bad if it didn't. Because then he gets a Meteor Swarm off and I just trolled. Tsubaki makes miracles with his stall stuff. Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, Kauron's a really good tool. It's just that you have to play your entire game around Kauron. Which isn't always optimal. He never kills Orphle with that. Neither Golzy or Skunch can really come into Broccolum here. I mean they can, it's just that they're not going to do a whole lot. Turok, okay. I have Inner Spirit up. That should be enough to one-shot Turok, I'd imagine. If it's not, oh well. I always want the Toxic Ink on Gorong for damage anyways. Maybe he thinks his Turok will outspeed and kill my Broccolum. Which, normally, against a normal Broccolum, that would be the case. Maybe it wouldn't kill if it was a bulkier one. Why Orphle and not Nidrasil? Orphle has a trait which increases its toxic moves by an extra 1.5 times. So it's actually the strongest toxic attacker in the game. It's a special little niche. I kind of run it because it's fun, but like it does have use for sure. I'm gonna take the risk and actually swap out Broccolum here. Never saw pre-evolution being played? Oh, I've been playing it for quite a while. Even before Orphle, I was running MIDI. Because it has a special niche of something that's bad and don't run it. Venx, yep, Venx is a good one. Venx actually has a higher base stat total than its evolutions. And nice defensive traits to top it off. It has received multiple nerfs, so it's less viable nowadays, though. That scares me. This might be a max speed Golzy. Why is Come on, Feynman, you were running Fast Grumper before me. You're the one that encouraged me to do this. Alright. Alright, inspired. That's the word. Really, neither one? It literally wasn't. I mean, you were definitely on a Fast Grumper. With your, like, it was at the start of the season, you had like an Amphitheater and Grumper lead, and it was, they just spammed Tesla Prison. It was like a 232 speed Grumper. Was it base speed Grumper? Really? I must have just... Oh, I'm confused. I guess you must have got some Tesla prisons off and it happened to just perfectly speed tie. Because I remember I had a 232 speed Tum. And... the Tesla spam is probably just screwing my perception for sure. I know I had a 232 speed Tum, and I remember speed tying your Grumper at some point. And I was like, wow, it's a speedy Grumper. I didn't think I got Tesla prisoned at that point, but I've missed stuff plenty of times before. So I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Not either way. This speedy Grumper is actually super consistent, so... You want the patch so you can go back to that team? Yeah, I can't wait for the patch. Should be really fun. I'm gonna make new teams though. Curious what Amphitheater is gonna get for buffs. Maybe that team will be viable again. Or maybe yours will be even better, I mean. Who knows, maybe Infectious will finally be a viable trait. Something fun. He would be viable if Oshara wasn't OP. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks Oshara is OP. There was a discussion about it in comp chat, and there were a whole bunch of people that were saying that it's not OP, it's just, it's a monotype that's actually viable. It's like, no, it's completely broken. It wins every single neutral matchup, and you can't ignore it for more than one turn. to mention it's just super fast. You can invest bulk and you don't need to invest in special attack because it's just scales. Well, it's another day where I can't pass you up yet, Feynman. I'll get you. You know, Cobb Champ, you've heard the fools complaining. Yeah. I hope it gets hit. I don't know if it was talked about fast enough for the balance team to catch it, but we'll just have to see. But I did say I was going to end the stream after that one. That is the plan, so I'm going to head off. But thanks everyone for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.